In Lithonia, another town hall to talk about the effects of the chemical plume sent into the air by the fire at the BioLab plant in Conyers last September. Experts focused on how the chemicals in the smoke could impact your body.
And residents were able to ask some really important questions and get legal advice about how to move forward. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido was there tonight. Angelina, even with BioLab closing part of its Conyers plant, neighbors are still looking for relief, right?
Yeah, and that's because BioLab says that it is closing the manufacturing part of the plant. But the experts here tonight say that that really does not matter because that part of the plant is actually not where this chemical fire started. That is not where these toxic chemicals are being stored. Plus, the majority of the damage to these residents has already been done.
When you say the soot and ash,
another room packed.
Did you only do testing above I-20?
More questions and answers.
I had to pass through, and there was always a thick layer of smoke, fumes, whatever. I kept my air conditioning off my truck, but I had to drive through and I could still breathe it.
Ashton Carter lives 3 miles from the BioLab plant and works a half-mile away.
I asked Scott the question, what am I breathing in? What have I been breathing in?
it's more than likely that some of those volatile, those 7 VOCs that I found, you could have been breathing in.
Some of those are deadly. Carter says he and his family aren't in the dark anymore, but there's still uncertainty.
What's going to happen 5, 7, 10 plus years down? What is the long-term effects of all of this?
No one started having these health symptoms until after the BioLab event. It's that simple.
But Scott Smith, an environmental advocate testing soot from the chemical plume, says they've heard of several symptoms from people who had to be hospitalized.
Bloody noses, trouble breathing, stroke-like symptoms, severe headaches.
That's why these town halls are valuable to arm the community with information. Smith's testing still isn't done.
For crop data because no one's testing for it. And just like I said, you can't find what you don't look for.
Now, these crop results should be available within the next several months. That should give us more of an idea of the lasting impacts of these chemicals. Ashton tells me he also plans on having Scott Smith test the chemicals in the residue at his home to figure out if they have any effects there as well. We're live tonight in Lithonia. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Angelina, thank you. By the way, folks, lawyers at the town hall meeting tonight were helping residents figure out their next best steps moving forward.